Hi, I'm Ken Albala, professor of history at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California, and a food historian. And this is What's in My Basket. I needed a new sharpening stone. The one that I have is kind of out of shape and it's got a big rut in the middle. So I picked up this new one, which has got a 1200 grit and a 4000 grit, which I think should be fine for sharpening up my cooking knives and my carving knives. So it was so nice to see not only some of my own books, my beans book, which is about 20 years old now, and the nuts book, which I wrote actually in the same sabbatical, 6 months, but even more recent books like Opulent Nosh, which when I opened it, I kind of didn't remember the dishes in there. I saw a few pictures and said, did I cook that? Anyway, that was my COVID era project. But there are also books by very good friends in here. Warren Belasco's classic Key Concepts of Food, Rachel Lauden's Cuisine and Empire, which I've used in class, and it was nice to see Michael Twitty here too, Kosher Soul. He's a great guy, and I thought, how nice to go into a book section and see all sorts of people I know. So like everyone, I'm just crazy about tinned fish. I don't know why we don't call it canned fish, but we call it tinned. So I picked up cockles, which are tiny little shellfish, which you really don't see anywhere else. These are hard to find. And likewise octopus, which I really just love. And I've never seen this brand before, so I want to try that, Island Creek. And the last one is horse mackerel, which is really not a rare or expensive fish, but it is so tasty. And if you're eating oily fish, it's supposedly really good for you, but I love them. Okay, I've seen knives like this, and I never really knew what they were for, this sheep's foot shape, and I was told that it is designed so sailors can't mutiny, because it has no sharp point on the, top, but it does actually on the side. I think it would be fine for mutiny, but it's designed for cutting cord, and splicing the mainsail and that sort of thing. I love how in Japan, if you go to visit someone, they give you a piece of cloth. This one is obviously for wrapping up things, and I just love it because it has the kittens on it, which, I have 2 cats who I love, so I just had to take this. So I was once giving a keynote address at the CIA's Worlds of Flavor conference in Napa and made a point of making fun of chefs who use tweezers. And you could hear this audible gasp in the audience of everyone, how he said that? About 5 minutes later, I walked into the gift shop, picked up one, and now I use them every day. So that showed me. So this is a beautiful Gränsfors Brook axe from Sweden. I've got a smaller one, maybe about 3/4 the size of this, and it's not actually designed for carving wood, but that's what I use it for. And I've bought that maybe, 3 or 4 years ago when I first started carving, and I really love it. I have a Julia Kalthoff now, which is longer and bigger and has a better Scandi grind for carving, but I still really love this company and this one, and I love that they're all signed right there. So what a delight it is always to come into the shop and see new things, and I honestly want everything. My next book, An Atlas of Fermented Food and Drink, is on a slow boat from Burma, I think, so it'll be here in the fall. This was really a lot of fun, so thanks. This has been What's in My Basket.